Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Couple of short items and on to the main subject, which also could be very short today because it's really just a picture that I want to show you. I'm sure you will find it very enlightening. But first of all, I just want to share, three polls. Trafalgar polling. The Trafalgar group is one of my go-to polls, the other one being Rasmussen. They've had 3 state polls recently. I just want to give them to you. Couple of them, Florida and Louisiana, Trump is ahead. And in Pennsylvania, he is actually behind by a couple of points. He could maybe make that up. I should give you full disclosure. I'm a conservative, so I have a tendency sometimes to speak more positively about events that are favorable to Trump than those that are unfavorable. So take that into consideration whenever I talk. But anyways, if you are a Trump fan, you've got 2 good news polls here, Florida and Louisiana. Louisiana, not such a big deal. Florida is a very important state because it's a swing state, and I would say it's essential to Trump if he wants to win. Pennsylvania is something that would be nice for him to win. He won in 2016. What's good about or important about Pennsylvania is that he can still win without it. But if he has it, if he wins Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, and he's ahead in Ohio too, by the way, according to the Trafalgar poll. But if he wins in those 3 states, Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, then he's got the election. Then he's won. So I just wanted to share that. I also want to just mention today, when I'm recording this, the day before you're seeing it, is the 3rd and last day of the hearings for the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. It was, again, what I expected. It was a little better today because everybody got the question only for 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So I guess full disclosure, I enjoyed having only to listen to 20 minutes of each Democratic senator instead of 30 as I had to yesterday. The downside was that Ted Cruz was as he always is, he is very articulate, very enlightening to listen to. So I only got to listen to him for 20 minutes. Too bad. And from there, I will just mention that, I guess I could sum it all up by Senator Blumenthal from Connecticut. He questioned Amy Coney Barrett about global warming, about climate change. That's the term they use these days, right? I guess global warming is old hat because the earth isn't warming enough that they can keep saying global warming. So now they say climate change. So any change in the weather, it's climate change and we're all doomed. But he asked Amy Coney Barrett what she knew about climate change, a few questions. It has nothing to do with her credentials or with serving on the Supreme Court. It just shows you how ridiculous these Democratic senators have been throughout these entire hearings. Thank goodness that they're all over now, so I don't have to feel obligated to watch them because there aren't any more, at least until the next Supreme Court justice nomination, which I hope will be made by Donald Trump or some conservative. All right, that's it for all the other ancillary subjects. I think it is. Yeah, that's it. So now we get on to the main subject, which is Antifa, the Antifa thugs, these violent thugs who dress in black. They disperse throughout the streets in these Democrat-run cities, especially Portland, Oregon, and they just harass people. They trash businesses. They break windows. They actually physically attack people. They march through neighborhoods. These very tough guys are covered head to toe in football helmets and clad in black and shields and faces covered. Very fearsome looking group, but 26 of them were arrested recently in Portland. Here are their mugshots. Here you can see them, 26 of them anyway, out of uniform, so to speak, just the way they look. These are the really ferocious, tough Antifa thugs. Take a look. Pretty tough group, right? Pretty tough, fearsome group that we should all be afraid of. Well, maybe not. To me, they look like a bunch of losers. And by the way, do you notice that they're all white? They're all white. These white thugs creating violence for racial justice. They're all white. And as I said, they look like a bunch of losers. They also look like a bunch of milquetoasts to me also. They don't look so tough, do they, when they're out of uniform, when you see them not covered in black. If the Portland authorities were allowed to enforce the law and have, because you can have an anti-masking or an anti-costume law, that is allowed. You're allowed to do that. If these people were forced to march, to intimidate, as they are, unshielded, uncovered, as you see how they really are, you would not be so afraid of them, would you? But also you have to keep in mind that they always operate in groups. So you have a group of these thugs, these milquetoast thugs, I guess you can call them, wielding baseball bats and mace and who knows what, weapons, and just they are just so tough when they are covered up and in groups. But you look at these people individually, they just look to me like overprivileged losers. To me, they look like, or maybe, yeah, privileged children going to college students going to college on mommy and daddy's dime, or on your dime and mine through these college loans, because I wonder what subjects these people are studying. I have a suspicion that a lot of them are studying political correctness in one form or another, not something that is going to lead to you and me, the taxpayers, getting paid back for our loans, which probably explains why our Democratic friends want to forgive these loans. Well, why the heck not? Because they're not going to be paid back anyways. But, well, I may have something to say about this in the future, that we should only give college loans, government loans, for those subjects that will give the recipients of the loans a career that would enable them to repay the government, which means repay us. So maybe a loan to be a doctor or a lawyer or a vocational pursuit like a plumber or an automobile mechanic, something that we get paid back. I guess I don't have to do the other vlog, I just did it. But this photo, this collective photo of all these thugs, it reminds me of something that I read, a statement by the mistress of a Nazi officer during World War II, and she said that these Nazi officers, well, you see all the photos, they look so fearsome in their Nazi outfits with their hats and the medals and just the military garb. Unlike ours, by the way, American uniforms show pride. They don't inspire fear, just the regular uniform of an American soldier. But the Nazi soldiers, they were meant to intimidate, I think. I think the uniforms were especially designed that way. But what I have to say about these officers wearing these uniforms and how it relates to these photos is that these mistresses precisely because they were mistresses and sleeping with these officers, they would see them in their underwear, and they would say that in their underwear, these Nazi officers were not so fearsome. Just the opposite. They just were totally unimpressive. That's the way fascists operate. That's the way fascists operate. I will just leave it there. Draw whatever lesson you can from it. I'll just say that I appreciate, as always, that you're spending some of your time with me. If you could also take another moment to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, that would be great. Share with anybody you think would also like the video. You can put any comments, comment section below the video, questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting subscribers. And one final thing before I say goodbye is to plug my music channel, my vanity music channel of original songs. I'm linking to it in the description. I do it under my middle name, Gene Allan, instead of Gene Schwimmer, so you don't have to worry about sharing it. And people who are non-political or are opposed to conservatives, they're not going to get coming back to this site. But I would like all of you to come back to see me again. That would really be great. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.